That winter, the forest breathed differently. Snow lay deep and even, as if someone had gently covered the world with a white cloth so it wouldn't wake too soon. Fir branches bent under the weight of frost, and when the wind touched them, silver dust fell softly like stars drifting close to the earth. The house stood at the very edge of the forest, where the path ended and silence began. It was old and warm, with windows that glowed not just with electricity, but with memory. It remembered voices, footsteps, laughter, New Year's nights, the scent of mandarins, and fresh pine. And it was in this house that Alex realized he was alone. It didn't happen all at once. First, he noticed the quiet. No door slammed. No dishes clinked in the kitchen. No radio played the one his mother always turned on in the mornings. He stepped into the hallway and called out, "Mom!" But there was no answer. His phone lay on the table, its screen lit up. A message from his parents. "We've already left. Are you asleep?" His heart dropped, as if the floor had suddenly opened beneath him. With trembling fingers, he typed back, "I'm at home." The message took too long to send. The loading bar froze, as if it was thinking. Outside, the forest creaked. Alex sat down and wrapped his arms around himself. Anxiety began to rise, not sharp, but cold and heavy, like water moving slowly beneath ice. He knew the plan. His parents had left early because of the coming storm. He was supposed to follow them later. But not like this, not alone. At first, he tried to be brave. He walked through the house, checking the locks on the doors and windows. He turned on every light, pushing back against the encroaching shadows. He put the kettle on, the familiar whistle a small comfort in the growing silence, but the house seemed to sense his fear. The walls crackled softly, the floorboards sighed with every step he took. And through the windows, the forest watched. By evening, the storm arrived in full force. Snow flew sideways, erasing the line between the sky and the ground. The wind howled, and in its voice, there was something ancient, something almost alive. It was then that Alex noticed the snow glowing. It wasn't bright, just a faint blue shimmer, as if it were reflecting a light that didn't exist. And between the trees, a narrow path appeared. It had never been there before. Alex knew this forest. He had grown up beside it, played among its trees his whole life. But tonight, it was different. It was calling to him. The house creaked softly behind him. "Don't be afraid," it seemed to whisper, and for some reason, he believed it. Alex pulled on his coat and scarf and stepped onto the porch. The cold struck instantly, not cruelly, but like a test. The strange, glowing path led deeper into the forest, toward the oldest, tallest fir trees. As he walked, the air grew thick, filled with a quiet expectation. Beneath one of the tallest firs, a figure stood. It wasn't frightening. It was impossible. It looked as if the forest itself had gathered its snow and shadows into the shape of a person. "You stayed," said a voice that sounded like cracking ice and rustling leaves. "I'm waiting," Alex replied quietly, his own voice barely a whisper. The figure tilted its head, a gesture that seemed both ancient and curious. Those who wait are never truly alone. Just then, his phone vibrated in his pocket. He pulled it out. The signal had returned, suddenly, unnaturally. A new message from his parents. "We can't reach you." "We're worried." His chest tightened. "I am too," he whispered to the figure, to the forest. The forest stirred. The glowing snow lifted into the air, swirling into luminous spirals. And inside them, flickered images. Hands setting a table for a feast, joyful laughter echoing, a decorated Christmas tree sparkling with lights, and faces leaning close to a glowing screen full of love. "This is a night of connection," the forest said, its voice a symphony of winter sounds. New Year's Eve. On this night, even distance becomes thin. The figure reached out and touched the air, and something shifted not loudly, but deep inside Alex, like a lock clicking open. When Alex returned to the house, the clock on the wall read 10 minutes to midnight. The computer in the living room turned on by itself. The screen lit up, and there they were, his parents. His mother was crying and laughing at the same time. "We were so scared," she said, her voice catching. His father spoke quickly, his words unsteady. "We'll come back right now if we have to." "No," Alex said, a real smile spreading across his face for the first time that night. "I'm home. I'm with you." They celebrated the new year together over a video call. They raised glasses to the screen. They laughed and shared stories. They made wishes for the year to come, and they counted down the final seconds together. Outside, the forest shimmered as if thousands of invisible candles had been lit among the trees. When the clock struck midnight, Alex felt the heavy knot of fear in his chest finally let go. The house was full again not of bodies, but of connection, of love that bridged the distance. The snow outside slowly dimmed. The forest returned to its quiet, sleeping state. But just before everything faded back to normal, Alex thought he saw someone between the fir trees nod to him a silent farewell. Sometimes magic doesn't stay, it simply arrives when it's needed most. After midnight, Alex fell asleep on the couch, wrapped in a warm blanket. He dreamed of glowing lights dancing between the trees and of gentle, silent footsteps in the snow. He woke to the sound of an engine. At first, he thought it was another dream. But the sound grew closer, clearer. Headlights swept across the yard, stretching long, familiar shadows of the fir trees along the living room walls. "It can't be," he whispered, jumping up from the couch. The front door opened almost at the same moment. "Alex." His mother rushed in and hugged him tightly, as if she was afraid to ever let go again. His father stood just behind her, his face tired but lit with a relieved smile. His voice trembled slightly as he spoke. "We couldn't stay away," he said. "The road itself, it seemed to let us through." Cold, fresh air rushed into the house, and with it came laughter, voices, the crisp smell of snow, and a long journey. Bags, boxes, and brightly wrapped gifts followed them inside. "We couldn't leave New Year without presents," his mother said, her smile finally reaching her eyes. The Christmas tree lights flickered on again. The kitchen table quickly filled with mandarins, sweets, and 3 mugs of hot, steaming tea. The house came alive not with echoes or memories, but with real voices, real laughter, real warmth. Alex looked at his parents, at the home suddenly so full of life, and felt something inside him finally fall into place. Later that morning, as they all sat by the window, his father looked out at the snowy woods and said softly, "You know, the forest was so quiet tonight. Almost peaceful, as if it was waiting for us." Alex smiled, but said nothing. He just took another sip of his tea. Some things happen only once. And they don't need to be spoken aloud because magic doesn't like noise. It likes it when a family is together again. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.